anonymously sending copies of The Hobbit to everybody, with all but the first 60 pages cut out, because the first Hobbit film only went up to page 63 or something. And we don't know why we've got to it. And Colin Baker's reading it and then turns over the page and he says, I've just got to the interesting bit, and then turns over there's nothing left. It's all gone. And so that gag went because it was fine, but it didn't really work. And there was another scene. There's a lady that comes up to me at the lift. I don't know if you remember that bit where he says, Peter, hi, and everyone says, well, who is she? Well, there was an earlier scene where I walk into the room where Colin, Sylvester and Paul are, and this same woman comes up to me and says, Peter, how are you? And I go, I'm fine, how are you? And she says, we must get together again, we had such fun working together. And I go, yes, we did, absolutely. And then she walks off and I turn away and go, I've no idea. I quite often do that. So anyway, those are the only scenes we cut. So it's not really worth putting back into the film, but I think it's worth putting up at some point just so people can see them for the fun.
Yeah. I think we have time for one or two more questions.
Sorry. Yes. How about that lady? Keeps desperately, blonde hair, keeps putting her hand up. Oh, then we can go, yes, that lady there. Yes, you, madam. Oh no, you was going to film me? I thought you had a question. You're going to film you asking a question. Okay.
Exactly. Okay, what is your most awkward fan moment? Because I'm sure you have a lot of fans.
Someone filming me as they ask me. No, I suppose if I'm honest with you, and this, as I said just now, I'm not awfully good at remembering faces, and some of you, and I know I've got no excuse for this, but some of you will come up to me sometime, or fans will come up to me and say, "Hi, how are you?" And I'll go, yeah, we met before, and I go, yeah, where was that? And they'll go, oh, it was 1983. and I can't, so it's... Sorry.
I apologize for doing that, Freddie.
No, it's my fault, it's my problem. Some people are very good. Georgia can remember people. Well, she's not that old, is she? So it wouldn't be a problem for her. But she's very good at sort of going, how don't she know people's names, people she's met years ago? I have trouble with actors I've worked with last week. So I apologise if sometimes I don't remember if I've met you before, but I read somewhere there's a condition which is a sign of a genius. So I clung on to that when I read this in the newspaper. The inability to remember faces can be an indicator of genius. Sadly, it's probably not true in my case, but I'm clinging on to it desperately. Yes.
Okay. Colin has read the Ring of Mactan speech. Sylvester's done Pandora Open. I got Paul to do Day of the Doctor yesterday. You're the only one of the boy band who hasn't read something from the new series. Oh. And I have in my hand the speech from The Big Bang. Could you please read it for us?
Oh, Lord. This is like an audition. What am I reading here?
Oh my goodness.
Oh God, I've no idea what this is. Okay.
I don't know if I feel comfortable as Amy.
Do you have any lines in this?
I hope not.
It's funny. I thought if you could hear me, I could hang on somehow. Silly me. Silly old doctor. When you wake up, you'll have a mum and dad, and you won't even remember me. Well, you'll remember me a little. I'll be a story in your head, but that's okay. We're all stories in the end. Just make it a good one, eh? Because it was, it was the best. Daft old man who stole a magic box and ran away. Did I ever tell you I stole it? Well, I borrowed it. I was always going to take it back. Oh, that box, Amy, you'll dream about that box. It'll never leave you. Big and little at the same time, brand new and ancient, and the bluest blue ever. And the times we had, would have had, never had. In your dreams, they'll still be there. The Doctor and Amy Pond. And the days that never came. The cracks are closing. But they can't close properly till I'm on the other side. I don't belong here anymore. I think I'll skip the rest of the rewind. I hate repeats. Live well. Love, Rory. Bye-bye, Pond. That's it. I'm out.
That's all we have time for today. It's not that time. One quick question we can do.
Then we go to 12.
I was told 11:50 we need to come out because of people coming in here. 5 more minutes? 5
4 minutes, okay.
Great, to 5 more minutes.
Okay, quick questions. Who's got quick questions? Let's go.
Well, not your favorite moment, too hard to pick, but what's the most fun you had shooting Doctor Who? Like just the most fun you ever had on the set?
The most fun I ever had on the set. Carrying Nicola Bryant across a sandpit in the caves of Ender's Army. And I warned them I couldn't do another take, and in the middle of the I think it was the 5th take, I dropped her. It's kind of fun. Okay, Colin, yes, question.
Who's under the sheets?
Us. Next question. Yes.
I want to thank you for coming to come see us.
Thank you.
We are thrilled with the 5-ish Doctors, the response that it's gotten. It is a masterwork of writing. The fact that you can look back on something that you're a part of and kind of poke fun at it just a little bit. It was an amazing cast that you got together. All your family, Colin's family, participating in it. It was the perfect 50th anniversary special, because in many ways I feel it was higher in my estimation than Day of the Doctor.
Thank you very much.
You had more guest stars, companions, shout-outs, cameos, and I love the fact that, well, you had that Scottish contact to be able to figure out when the filming days were. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. It's been nominated for a Hugo Award. If you know anybody who's a member of this Hugo thing, write to them now, okay? Yes, go on. Next question.
Okay,
Yeah.
not Doctor Who related.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy playing the meal of the day in the BBC?
The dish of the day. I love this, yes. I was a big fan of the radio series. I listened to it, and it was a great honour to be involved in it in some way. So yes, I did. Yes. Next question. Yes. Yes.
Your work on Law and Order UK is really, really fascinating, and I want to know, have you seen your counterparts before you took the part? And how do you feel about working on the show, especially with Freeman?
You mean my US counterpart? No, I have not seen my US counterpart in Law and Order. This is a question about Law and Order. No, I haven't. I mean, the judicial system is so different that I met the guy who is actually a Crown prosecution, head of the Crown Prosecution Service in Britain. But I didn't meet my counterpart. Didn't watch any of the. I have watched Law and Order, but there are so many versions of it, aren't there? I mean, I do love it because I love a procedural thing that's not about interpersonal relationships. At least it's not in Britain. It's just very much a procedural thing about the detection of the catching of the criminal and then the trial. I like that. So yeah. Yes. Question. Yes.
I have a question. Georgia is a fantastic actress.
Yes.
And I was wondering, as a father and as an actor yourself, when she decided to go into acting, were you worried about her going into a profession that has so much rejection and so much trouble where she might not be successful?
Well, here's an interesting story, which I'll be very quick about, right? Yes, it did worry me, but then I said to Georgia at one point, for this very reason, I said, do you ever think about becoming an actress? And she said to me, this is when she was about 16, she said, no, there are too many actresses. And then literally about a year and a half later, she suddenly announced to me that she was going to be an actress. She wanted to try being an actress. And so I sat her down and I said, look, this is going to be very, very difficult. You've got to understand that there will be a lot of rejection, and you'll have to be very determined to stick with it if that's what you want. And then she went for her first audition, I think, the following day and got the job. So I thought, well, that's a waste of time. Now, just as an addendum to that, my son, who is now 14, there was a problem. My son wants to be an actor, so he went up for a part about sort of 3 weeks ago. At the same time as I went for a part in a separate production, which would have meant I couldn't have been here today. On the same day that I found out I didn't get that part, he got a part in the West End with Martin Freeman
Oh, wow.
in Richard III.
Oh, wow.
So he's about to make his West End appearance. Took me about 23 years. What is going on with your children? Anyway, so I'm very happy. Actually, I didn't want the job that I went up for, so I was rubbish. So I'm glad to be here, really. So watch out, because there's another doctor coming up.
In Five-ish Doctors, you end up going to the gallery scene at the very end. Is that you on the 50th anniversary special?
Ahead of what, sorry?
In Five-ish Doctors, you end up in the gallery scene at
Yes,
the
yes.
Zygons. Is that really you on the 50th
Yeah, I just
anniversary?
answered that question. Yes, of course it is. How could you doubt us? Did you notice that in the Five-ish Doctors you get an extra line that does not appear in the 50th anniversary special? Anyone notice that? Matt Smith gets an extra line which was then cut from the 50th anniversary special. But it's in the 50th Five-ish Doctors. Go back and watch it. Time is up, everybody. I'm very, very sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Listen.
let's give a hand to Mr. Peter Davison.
Thank you so much. Thanks for